Hey, what's up, guys? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and you are here for your best soccer bets for Saturday, April 29th. Even though I'm still upset about Borussia Dortmund on a Friday, guys, we have to move on to Saturday. We have a lot of games going on. Most of those are in Bundesliga. To be exact, 6 games. We have 3 games in the EPL. We got a couple of great games in LaLiga. A few derby matches in Serie A, and of course, we have that one single game in League One which we are going to talk about here as well. We do have a free video for a parlay of the day up on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel, so check it out, guys. And if you want my best bets, click the link in the description of this video, and that will get you to the page where you can sign up and see what else I have up there and see if you like anything. Like I said, guys, we have a few great games to talk about here, and I will try to get through these as quick as possible, so that you don't have to stay here for a while and watch a long video. But have in mind that with the amount of games that we have to talk about, it's gonna take a bit of a time. So let's get this show on the road with the EPL, guys. And the first game we have is between Crystal Palace and West Ham. Both teams are coming off of a loss. West Ham lost to Liverpool 2-1. Crystal Palace lost to Wolverhampton. But overall, both teams are playing really well right now, especially West Ham, who has lost only one of their last 6 games, and they haven't lost any of their last 4 games on their own. Crystal Palace has been waking up. They have been showing some signs of life. They have been creating chances, scoring goals, but they haven't scored a goal in their last 2 games. And with this being their home game, I think that they will get on the scoreboard here, but they can't keep a clean sheet here. So I'm taking both teams to score at plus 100. I think it's going to be a nice winner for us in the EPL to start the day. The second game in the EPL, guys, is between Brentford and Nottingham. And I know that Nottingham Forest has won their last game. I believe it was against Brighton at home earlier this week. Yeah, they have won that game 3-1. Quite a successful offensive performance from them, scoring 3 goals against Brighton. But now they are facing Brentford on the road, and Nottingham has won only 1 game on the road so far this season. They have 3 draws and 12 losses, and they are one of the worst teams on the road so far. And even though they need points here to stay in the league, they are facing this Brentford team, the team that's coming off of an impressive win against Chelsea. And simply, guys, I'm going with Brentford on the money line. It's minus 157 right now. I know that the price might not be good enough as a single. It's definitely risky. But if you put it in a double with something else, I think it's going to give us nice plus money. So for me, guys, Brentford on the money line. And Brighton is hosting Wolverhampton in the final game of the EPL on Saturday, and they are now on a 2 game losing streak while losing 3 of their last 4 games. And this Wolverhampton team has been firing on all cylinders as of late, especially that attacking end. They have played 3 out of their last 4 games were at home, and they have kept a clean sheet in each of those 3 games. They have won all of those games, of course. They have scored 5 goals, but on the road, they're coming off of a loss against Leicester 2-1. But seeing how sloppy Brighton has been as of late, I definitely see both teams getting on the scoreboard. And for that reason, that's going to be my pick, guys. I'm going with both teams to score at minus 107. Brighton is fighting for the spot in the Champions League or the Europa League, which would be a lot closer to them. Well, Wolverhampton will definitely try to keep their nice positive streak alive here. So I'm going with both teams to score. Now we are moving on to LaLiga, guys, and we have Real Madrid playing against Almeria, and we have Barcelona playing against Betis. Real Madrid is coming off of a loss in La Liga, and luckily for them, Barcelona lost too. But it's important for both of these teams to get back on the winning track, especially Real Madrid, who is playing in the Champions League pretty soon against Manchester City, and they need to maintain that high level of performance. And I think that they will get back on the winning track here. Almeria has nothing on Real Madrid. They have beaten them only once, and that was back in 2008. But it's not going to happen here. So we can take Real Madrid to win at over 2.5, 3.5 goals and whatnot. But I think that Real Madrid comes out flying. And for that reason, guys, I'm going to take over 1.5 goals in the first half at minus 121. In the next matchup, guys, like I said, Barcelona is playing against Betis, and this could potentially be a very interesting game. Real Madrid lost, Barcelona lost against Rayo Vallecano on the road earlier this week. It was 2-1. And for some reason, even though they have all the quality in the world, this Barcelona team is quite dull in that attacking end every now and then. And that was definitely one of those games. But at home so far this season, they are still undefeated. They have 12 wins and 3 draws. They're still the best defensive team in the league, and they're still at the top of the table, and they will win the title. As far as Betis goes, they're fighting for that Europa League spot. Potentially, they could get to the Champions League spot, but it's going to be very, very hard. And they are the type of a team that doesn't shy away from getting a little bit rough and make a little bit more fouls, make that extra effort to stop the opponent. And I think this is going to be a very, very rough game, if you ask me. I honestly would not expect a lot of goals. I do believe that Barcelona will be dominant. I think that they will create the most chances, and that will force Betis to resort to those fouls and yellow cards. And for that reason, guys, I'm going to go with over 4.5 cards in the game, minus 118. Honestly, this 4.5 line definitely seems like a steal to me, considering the matchup we have going on here. So, Barcelona against Betis, over 4.5 cards. Now we are shifting to Bundesliga, guys, and the first game we have is between Köln and Freiburg. Köln has been playing better. They have been doing a solid job offensively and defensively, but Freiburg needs a win here to kind of stay in that fourth spot in the Bundesliga standings and to qualify for the Champions League. And luckily for them, they are now on a 2-game winning streak, during which they scored 6 goals, conceded only 1, and they seem to be quite effective right now. Like I said, Köln has been playing better and better with every game. They are undefeated in their last 4 games, but at home they haven't won any of their last 5 games in a row, and that is a problem when you're facing a team like Freiburg, who are on fire right now. I definitely think this is going to be quite an exciting game. I think we're going to see a lot of chances, guys, and for that reason, I'm going with both teams to score, minus 112. I know that that home negative streak has to end at some point for Köln, and the only way that's going to happen is if they score a goal. And as we can see, they are actually quite the favorites here against Freiburg, despite not winning any of their last 5 home games. So, Köln against Freiburg, both teams to score. The next match we have is between Union Berlin and Bayer Leverkusen, which definitely is the derby of the weekend in Bundesliga between two sides. 2 of the top teams in Bundesliga, I gotta say. And Union Berlin still undefeated at home this season, in 3rd place. Potentially, with a nice win here, they could once again join in the title race. And they definitely are more than capable of doing that. But they're facing this Bayer Leverkusen team, the team that has had their number over the seasons, and they have been dominant in this matchup. Leverkusen is also undefeated in their last, 12 or 13 games. They have been playing extremely well. They're coming off of a win against Leipzig 2-0, and they will definitely look to keep that winning streak alive, which makes me think that this game could definitely end up in a draw, because I believe that Union Berlin has a potential to stay undefeated at home for the entire season. But I also think that Leverkusen has enough quality to get a positive result out of this game. I do like the draw here, to be honest, but I'm going to go with over 2.5 at plus 105. Both teams will go for the win, in my opinion, and that will potentially leave them vulnerable to those counterattacks. And we are getting nice plus money on over 2.5, which I definitely like. So, Union Berlin against Bayer Leverkusen, over 2.5 goals. The next matchup we have is between Leipzig and Hoffenheim, guys. And both of these teams are coming off of a loss. Leipzig lost to Köln at home. Hoffenheim lost to Köln at home, while Leipzig was shut out against Leverkusen on the road, even though they had a ton of chances in that game. And I think this is going to be one of those games where all of that is going to come back to Leipzig. Hoffenheim is not a bad team. They got away from the relegation zone now. They still need a couple of wins or so to kind of secure that spot to stay in the league, but I think that they will need to wait for another game. Hoffenheim hasn't won any of their last 3 games against Leipzig, and I'm afraid it might stay that way, especially on the road, because Leipzig hasn't lost to Hoffenheim in their last 6 home games. But I definitely don't see Leipzig keeping a clean sheet here, so I'm gonna go with both teams to score in over 2.5, guys, plus 104. Like I said, all the chances that Leipzig missed in their previous games could potentially come back to them in this match, and I expect them to be quite effective in that attacking end in this match. So Leipzig against Hoffenheim, both teams to score, and over 2.5 goals. Stuttgart will be looking for a nice win or at least a draw against Borussia Mönchengladbach, guys, and somehow Stuttgart is the minus 120 favorites. I know that Borussia Mönchengladbach hasn't been the most consistent team so far this season, and especially on the road where they have only 1 win, 6 draws, and 7 losses. And the fact that Stuttgart is fighting for their lives in Bundesliga is not helpful to Borussia. So I definitely see an interesting matchup here, and both teams to score in over 2.5 has hit in the last 6 games between these two sides. And seeing how much is at stake, especially for Stuttgart here, I definitely see this going the same way, because they will have to attack, they will have to try to get to the scoreboard, and that could leave them wide open to Borussia Mönchengladbach, who, yes, hasn't been the most consistent team, but this is the team that still has a lot of quality in that attacking end with Marcus Thuram and Plea as well. And like I said, I definitely don't see Stuttgart keeping a clean sheet, but Borussia Mönchengladbach as well. So both teams to score once again, guys, at minus 148. That's my pick, but I do also think that if both teams to score hits, the over 2.5 is more than likely to hit as well. So if you want the plus money, go with that pick. The next matchup in Bundesliga, guys, is between Eintracht and Augsburg, and I finally think that this is gonna be the game where where Eintracht will finally snap the losing streak they are on, and get back on the on that winning side, because they have to get a win if they wanna up their form for that DFB Pokal semifinals coming up next week. So I'm gonna keep this one simple, guys. Augsburg is now without a win in their last 4 games, and this is the perfect opponent for Eintracht to get a win. So I'm going with Eintracht to win and over 1.5 goals at minus 143. And the final game of the day, guys, in Bundesliga is going to be between Schalke and Werder. Two teams that are struggling quite a lot. And Schalke on the other side, who is fighting for their lives in Bundesliga. They are coming off of a loss. They lost to Freiburg 4-0, if I'm not mistaken. And once again, they are in the relegation zone, but they are only 1 point away from that playoff spot. And they are 4 points away from the nearest safe spot, which is the 15th place and Bochum. Schalke has been showing us in the second half of the season that they have the office. They could play high quality football. They can score goals. And I think that they will do that here at home as well. Whether they keep a clean sheet or not, I don't think they can, to be honest. And they're now facing Werder, the team who has gone both teams to score in over 2.5 in their last 7 games in a row. And the over 2.5 in their games has hit in 8 of their last 8 games in a row. So I expect a high goal scoring match here, a lot of chances, guys, and that's why I'm going with over 2.5 goals, minus 125. If either sides keep a clean sheet here, I think that the other side can get us over 2.5 on their own. But I definitely like both teams to score here as well. And if you like plus money, guys, that's what I would go here. But personally, I'm going to stick to both teams to score just because it's a bit less volatile. That's it for Bundesliga. We are going to Serie A, guys, and we have two interesting matchups. The first one is between Roma and Milan. And it seems like that Milan has waken up, that they have gained some consistency now, undefeated in their last 6 games, while Roma is coming off of a loss against Atalanta 3-1 on their own. I don't know, maybe I wasn't expecting them to get a win, but that was quite a bad performance from them. And now you're facing this Milan team, the team that's on the roll, the team that has scored at least a goal in their last 4 games in a row, and like I said, the team that's undefeated in their last 6 games. Both teams to score and over 2.5 has hit in 5 of their last 5 games between Roma and Milan. But this is quite a derby in Italy, guys, and I think it's going to be quite the exciting game. I think we could see a little bit of a rougher side from these two sides, guys, and for that reason, I'm going with over 5.5 cards. It's minus 113 with both teams fighting for that Champions League spot. There could be a bit of a sparks flying between these two teams, and for that reason, I'm going with over 5.5 cards. The second game in Serie A, guys, is between Torino and Atalanta. And like I said, Atalanta is coming off of a nice win against Roma 3-1 on the road. At home, sorry, but on the road they haven't been the greatest team this season. And Atalanta on the road has scored 24 goals, conceded 17. But like I said, as of late, they haven't been doing that good of a job. Torino, on the other side, is a very, very solid team at home, and they're coming off of a nice win against Lazio on the road, which honestly I wasn't expecting, but I think that win against Lazio is going to be a huge confidence boost for this Torino team, and they definitely have what it takes to get a positive result out of this game. But so does Atalanta, to be honest, and I expect a fairly even matchup, and I do expect at least a goal on each side, guys. It's minus 125. I know that Torino is a solid defensive team, but I don't expect them to keep it two clean sheets in a row, especially against Atalanta, who's coming off of that impressive win against Roma. So Torino, Atalanta, both teams to score. And the final pick of this video, guys, is between Lille and Ajaccio in the French Ligue 1. As we can see, Ajaccio is a massive, massive underdog. They will be getting relegated this season, and they're not doing a good job on either end, to be honest. And I'm not sure they have even a little bit of what it takes to beat a team like Lille, the team that's fighting for that for the Europa League spot, which is now 4 points away from them. Lille, offensively, one of the best teams in the league with 57 scored goals. Jonathan David has been leading them with 21 scored goals, and he is one of the leading goal scorers of the League One. And once again, he will be in the starting lineup here. Ajaccio, defensively, very, very bad. 58 conceded goals, only 22 scored goals so far this season, and only 11 scored goals on the road. I think that this one will be all Lille, and I'm going to go all out on them, guys. I'm taking Lille to win and over 2.5 goals. Minus 130. Goal difference should matter, and I think that this is going to be one of those games where Lille will potentially do everything they can to score multiple goals and to get a nice win at home. So Lille and over 2.5 goals at minus 130 for me. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. These were free picks for Saturday. We have a lot of games. This is a lot of free picks, and of course, don't forget about that free parlay of the day video that's up on the Pickdawgz YouTube channel as well. That's it, guys. Have a great Saturday. Good luck with your bets, and I'll see you soon with more free winners.